Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. This is a really big reading, so I might go a little longer. So please forgive me and hang on till the end. You might get something you weren't expecting. Now, we're coming up on the chocolate and flour extravaganza holiday, where it is predicted several billion, that's right, billion with a B, dollars will be spent. Now, sometimes I wonder what society's turned into, that you have to spend that kind of money on any kind of a holiday. Now, I personally love the day after sales, however, when all that chocolate's on sale. But please do have a great Valentine's Day. I tease about the chocolate and all, but it is a day celebrating love. And any day that celebrates love is A-OK in my books. Well, I'm in the mood for love. Simply because you're near me. Funny, but when you're near me, I'm in the mood for love. Heaven is in your eyes, bright as the stars we're under. Is there any wonder? I'm in the mood for love. Now, this has become a worldwide celebration of love. And you know that everywhere in the world, people come together to celebrate love on the same day, just as we come together as a brotherhood of man. When we all gather in whatever religious affiliation we have, we form like-minded groups, a collective consciousness of seekers who are showing faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love. It's a true chavur, it's a fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unite us all. In this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. Even though together we are individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her their own way. So once again, please go ahead and invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hinei Matov, come together. Shevet Achim Hinei Matov, Shevet Achim. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Now we support each other in this community. So let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the whole world. Remember, it is your setting aside, my friends, just a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something. It's part of your Kavanah. It is your intention that you put out to the universe. It is your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you can control, what you can correct. It is your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives. So let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal for everybody. Float through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. It is the tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. We do have to help heal the world. It's not something we complete. It's just an ongoing task that we have to deal with in this lifetime, and it is every lifetime. We each must do our own parts. We each must do what we can to improve and change our own little corner of the world, because as we change ourselves, we change the conditions of life. And a part of that healing of the world is when we send out the thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. So those in our hearts and our minds. So let's all send that energy out for the people in need everywhere, and special thoughts and prayers for those who are in special medical needs. But it's more than that. As our great friend David Watts reminded me, we must also please pray for the growing number of homeless people enduring the snow and cold, alone physically and spiritually, without shelter from the storm. For the growing number of homeless people, and it just seems there's more and more all the time. So he's right. We do have to just reach out and see what we can do. Was in another lifetime, when a toil and blood, when blackness was a virtue, and the road was full of mud. Came in from the wilderness, a creature void of form. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. We all need shelter from the storm, shelter for all who need it. And we pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them. We want health, recovery, goodwill for everybody. We want good life for everybody around us. For Tommy, Marianne, for Cheryl and Jamie, for Pinky, Cardinal, for Doria, Maria, for Gloria, Ronnie, Connie, Fern, Johnny, and Snoopy, for Kay and the Builder, for Tony, for Danny, Tally, and Nina, for all those suffering and in need. Let's never forget to include the familiars of our lives, all of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everybody you know in need, for the whole world, and for the one and only Rosemary. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit. Spirit, my friends, never dies. Avotenu, Makor, Limotenu. May the source of strength is before us. Help us find the courage. Make a life so blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Yishmerach, let us all have our spirits renewed. This, my friends, is the great prayer for healing, in which we call upon God to heal as He has healed. For Mishaberach, may He who blessed, because all healing is a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, we saw miracles unfold over the last few weeks, introduced by the calling card of God. It's His introduction to the world. We saw the people cross the Red Sea, saw God open and close the waters, saw the final remnants of Egypt drown. We were then led to this praising song, prayer. It's kind of a combination of both, which is pulled out and always sung during the high holidays. Bakodesh, Doratai Lord, O Sefela, Dora, Sefela. Who is like you, God among the gods worshipped? Who is like you, God of gods revered? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, fearsome with splendors, working wonders? Well, that comes from here. It's from Exodus 15:11. Who is like you among the gods, O Lord? Who is like you, awesome in holiness, fearsome with splendors, making miracles? Well, that little praising prayer was turned into that song that we sing at all of the high holidays. Now, we're about to take part in the only event in the history of the world of its kind, the laws for living life, broken into 3 simple sections, disclosed to the myriad of over 600,000 people all at once standing there. This is the Great Epiphany as we read Yitro. Now those three sections are treatment of the universe or God, treatment of our roots and souls, treatment of fellow sojourners on this planet. That's it. Really quite simple. Now the Parsha opens with one of those rare insights into Moses as a human with the relationships we all have: parent, teacher, advisor, wife, family. While it follows the convention, taking its name from the opening words, its name does not do it justice. Exodus 18:5, and Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, and his sons and his wife came to Moses to the wilderness in which he was camping at the mountain of God. So Jethro, Yitro, arrives with Moses' wife and sons, but only Moses' meeting with Jethro is described. There's nothing about his reunion with his family. And that's about all we ever find out about Moses the man. Now his father-in-law, Yitro, suggests the system of judges, which is put in place for 1,000 years. Then he heads home, as Moses' family now fades into the background. Why, my friends, does the Torah announce the arrival of Moses' wife and children, but not describe any kind of a personal meeting scene between them and Moses? Well, you know what? In Moses' case, the family episodes are very few. His mother and sisters protect him as a baby. His wife has a confrontation with him at the inn on the way to Egypt that nobody fully understands. Aaron and Miriam criticize his Cushite wife, and then they're rebuked by God. But the rest of Moses' family life is extremely personal. Moses' role is not that of a regular individual. He is a representative of something far greater. And that perhaps is one of the reasons we never learn his real name in this book of names. And we never find out who he is as a person. Exodus 19:1. In the 3rd month, after the exodus of the children of Israel from the land of Egypt, on this day, they came to the wilderness of Sinai. Well, you know what? We know the who. Now we know the when and where. People have reached the mountain of God, Horeb, Sinai. They don't know it, but they're actually going to be there for quite a while, about a year. Moses had gone up to God. Now, the Septuagint text is probably more correct because it reads up to the mountain of God, and that fits better with the words that follow, and the Lord called to him from the mountain. So sometimes you got to take a look and see what the whole context of what's written is to see which one of the ancient scripts may have it a little bit more correct. Now, we're going to get a glimpse of what is to be. Conditional love, conditional acceptance, conditional recognition, which we still engulf our lives with. Exodus 19:5. And now, if you'll listen to my voice and observe my covenant, then you'll be a treasure to me out of all the peoples, because all the earth is mine. If then. And friends, we still treat so much as if then. That is the why. If we work at it, we can drop the conditions and learn to just be accepting of all as they are. We are at the climax. We've reached the moment of the Great Epiphany, the delivery of the Decalogue. God speaks the words of the 10 Commandments aloud directly to the people assembled. Never before or since in the history of man has there been a public revelation like this. Every other revelation has simply been to an individual. Exodus 19:16. And it was on the 3rd day when it was morning, and it was thunder and lightning and a heavy cloud on the mountain, the sound of a horn, very strong, and the entire people that was in the camp trembled. Thunder on the mountain and there's fires on the moon. There's a ruckus in the alley and the sun'll be here soon. Today's the day, gonna grab a trombone and blow. Well, there's hot stuff here and it's everywhere I go. The mountain shakes, quivers, fire engulfs its summit. It seems like the ultimate climax, but maybe instead it is the denouement. Wrapping up the 10 Commandments, which in Hebrew are called the 10 words, Asheret HaDibrot. It's the wind-up because they're the rules for life and living. Everything after this is filler. Exodus 21. Vayadaber devarim. And God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slaves. I am the Lord. It's not a commandment. It's a statement. Who brought you out of the house of bondage. Now, this is the creator of everything. And his introduction is not creation, but instead it is freedom. This is the calling card of the Creator. This is the most important gift you've ever been given. It is freedom, especially from fear. Now, unless you read this in the biblical Hebrew, you cannot notice something amazing, and that's the grammar that's used here. It is not the plural you. Throughout the 10 words, the commands are cast in the second person singular, whereas elsewhere in Hebrew law, plurals or third person singulars are often used. But the commandments are unique. They are addressed to each person individually. Every time you read them, every time you think them, every time you say them, it is to you, yourself alone. I remember the feeling as these words are said to a multitude individually. Well, we've had our preamble, and now we have the what. You shall have no other gods beside me. You shall make no carved likeness, no image of what is in the heavens above, what's on the earth below, what's in the waters beneath the earth. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not acquit whoever takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to hallow it. 6 days you shall work, and you shall do your task, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. You shall do no task. You and your son and your daughter, your male slave, your slave girl, your beast, and your sojourner who is within your gates. Honor your father and your mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your fellow man. You shall not covet your fellow man's house. You shall not covet your fellow man's wife, or his male slave, or his slave girl, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything that your fellow man has. Now, those, of course, are embellished a little in the Bible because they were carved on 2 tablets of stone, and so it simply would have read, much less, no other gods, no images, no broken oaths. Remember the Sabbath, which is the ceasing. Sabbath means ceasing, so remember to stop. Honor mother and father. No murder, no adultery, no stealing, no false witness, no coveting. It's quite simple rules and regulations. What do they mean? Why are they still significant in our lives? You know what? If you do nothing else, this truly is all you need. No other gods is about honoring the one source of everything. Your relationship to your God is a personal thing, for God lives within. But inspiration and goodness come from many sources, but they all stem from the one, like light through a prism. No image, as in the heavens above, the earth below, the waters beneath the earth. These are the 3 realms of the biblical world picture of creation, each duly registered in the creation story. It's easy to put faith in a substitute, especially since we have difficulty having faith in something that cannot be seen and has no form. But we're wise enough to know that only a personal, direct relationship with God has any reality. Everything is merely a sign along the road. And sometimes the signs are mistaken for being it. This is the time you might want to ask what you've been putting your faith in. Do not take the Lord's name in vain. It's about falsehood. It's about not swearing false oaths. And for many, this is the hardest to do because the essence of this commandment is in silence. All power stems from thoughts, which then become words. The Gospel of John begins, in the beginning was the Word. Everything's connected. Everything is God. So you cannot say something negative about anyone or anything because it takes away from the essence of God within. This is about knowing when to keep your mouth shut. Remembering the Sabbath, well, the ceasing day. is a day for appreciation of the world around you. Stop and enjoy the journey in your surroundings. Recharge, regenerate, appreciate. Because keeping only the destination in mind causes you to miss so much of what life offers. This is the lesson of non-linear time. Kairos time, not chronos time. It is subjective time, where minutes can seem like hours and days like minutes. Lorella knows all about this. This is the time found in the rhythm of nature with cycles and events. This is the time we are to remember. Honor your mother and father. It's about honoring your roots or where you come from. You see, you're the product of your roots. So in honoring where you come from, you're actually honoring yourself. And the mother and father represent the ideals of perfection of male and female. And in honoring that, you can return to that perfection. Our lives are perfect, but are influenced by the people and events we encounter. Do not murder. Well, this is one of the great mistranslations because of the King James Bible. It says kill. Now, friends, the original decree banned taking a life by intention. And that's why murder is different than killing. But murder destroys beauty and harmony. And everything is created in beauty and harmony. It can and most often is about the murder of spirit. When you murder spirit, you are polluting your own essence. This is the heart of the matter, and a beating heart controls all of our organs. If you murder anything, it will pollute everything. The things we murder the most are the spirits of ourselves and others. Have you murdered your spirit or the spirit of another? And it's as simple as calling someone stupid or doing anything to diminish them, because in so doing, you destroy the great heart. No adultery. The essence of adultery lies in our emotions, and so this is about our feelings. You must not adulterate or contaminate your spiritual life through emotional reaction or letting your ego get out of hand. Do not steal. Here it's quite interesting because as the seventh commandment pointed to our emotional side, this eighth commandment points to our intellectual side, and we have to have emotions and intellect in balance at all times. When we steal, we violate the energy of a balanced relationship and upset equilibrium. And it can be as simple as stealing an apple from a grocery store by eating it as you shop, or stealing time at work, making personal calls. Perhaps you've taken the words of others as your own. If we do this, we carry that imbalance with us, and that then affects our thoughts, which affects our actions. No false witness. This is an attack on the foundation we stand on, the false ego to beware of. This commandment is saying, do not lie, either against someone or yourself. Lies create their own momentum, and you get trapped by them. And then there is no escape. A foundation built on falseness will ultimately collapse. It is the story of the boy who cried wolf. And finally, do not cover. Now, the Hebrew verb amad has a range of meaning from yearn for to desire to lust after to want. Right? It's, words could be many meanings. Coveting is longing for, and the distance between coveting and taking can be extremely narrow. When you covet, you no longer appreciate your own things, and this diminishes your own spark of humanity because you're saying that yours isn't good enough. You prefer what someone else has. You prefer their life to your own. This is denial. It is negation of who you are and what you've created. Everything in our lives is the result of our own energy and our own only. When we break any of these, we break our world. And boy, is it broken. Broken cutters, broken saws, broken buckles, broken laws, broken bodies, broken bones, broken voices on broken phones. Take a deep breath, feel like you're joking. Everything is broken. But it can sure feel that way. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light. Continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. And friends, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's all send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. Please do learn to forgive, learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life and tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have and enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our efforts to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love, a week of light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe. And remember, we set in motion everything that happens. It is our intention, our kavana. Our cause, our effect, everything's linked. You always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you have done to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But always do so with sincerity, with accountability, with vulnerability. Forgive those who have hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, and the world just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is your home. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being. Keep sharing. Keep shining. Keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Always follow love, because love's always in front of you. And remember to have faith. It is an unwavering adherence to principle. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none. Defraud none. Hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all circumstances. Make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you, because you're never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessing to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across, because we're all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. It is your words that are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous, because as you bless others, you bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced others have too, we share together. We learn together and we help each other, because we are each of us simply trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives. So find them. Tell them what they mean. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. And remember, anything and everything you can want is provided by God in the right way at the right time. And even though this holiday this week is a florist and chocolate, your dream come true, primarily engaging two of our senses, olfactory and taste, it truly is a holiday that engages them all. In addition to the touch and sight of these temptations, we are fully committed in our emotion. And what's better than that? To be emotionally attached. So celebrate love. There is no finer thing to celebrate. It transcends all. There's just something about it. Something in the way she moves. Tracks me like no other lover. Something in the way she woos me. Don't want to leave her now. No, I believe in her. So celebrate love, my friends. It is the only real law you need. Well, thank you for joining me. Have a great week. Please keep exercising forgiveness. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. Believe in yourself and in love. Continue to spread a little goodwill to the world, and never forget, you are the miracle in someone else's life. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.